seems like
They're due.
10,000 bales. We'll put new tongues in there.
Oh, you're just gonna change the tongues out? Okay.
We'll change the tongues while I have it out. That's not excessive, but while it's out, some of these, I don't have a wrench up here. Some of these have some play here. You can see the corner of the gears wearing off. So
Okay.
I'm gonna put all new pinion gears in there for you. That's in there.
Yeah, the only problem that I had with
These two were hanging up.
tails.
Yeah.
Yep. You'll get tails hanging up.
First of all, so what I did is I tightened this down because it looked like these tails were longer than all the other ones.
All right.
So that's what you can do when you. This is your tension.
Yes.
That holds your twine in there.
Yep.
So if you're getting real long tails, you either got a bad knife and it's dragging,
Yeah.
pulling twine through, or you don't have enough attention here. An easy thing to do is just tighten this up
Tighten
a
those
quarter
up.
of a turn or something. If you get too short of tails, you can just loosen it back up. I tighten these two up a
Okay.
quarter of a turn.
You don't have a scale or anything special for that, or it's just.
No, it's more. You should be bailing when you do it, so
Yeah.
you know if you got it too tight, you could back it off or whatever.
So you're
but-
talking these tails, the cut tails. These.
No,
Or you're
the
talking the tail
on the knot.
on the string itself.
So these
Yeah.
will be the back knot. Usually the knot on the back of the bale is the second knot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's usually where you're going to see the issue. Because the first knot, you got the tension of the bale, the string coming front. The second knot, after it cuts that twine, you're just holding tension in here
Yep.
or that. And so that's where you tend to have more problems.
Okay.
You might have short tails or long tails.
The
Usually
second
won't
one,
have
yeah.
long tails on the back.
No.
They'll usually be, some of them can almost be pulling through.
Yeah. Okay.
And I've seen that. That could either be this tension is too loose, that's too tight, whatever. But I did tighten these two up. If these tails are too short when you're bailing, you can just loosen this, jam that up, back this off a flatter too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when I
That's a
years
simple
ago,
adjustment. You can call me.
years ago, I had problems with the knots actually slipping because the tails were too short. So we
Different
just.
twine.
Yeah.
If you stay with the same twine, you always stay
This
with
is
it.
actually a heavier twine than I originally started with.
What I see is some guys will put two different kind of twine in, or they'll switch, and that can make a big difference on this adjustment.
Okay.
There was a guy this year went to cheaper twine. It was
I'm not going cheaper.
I
twine.
forgot even what kind of twine it was, but it almost looked it was shiny like a garbage bag, really
Really?
slippery. Those tails would get that long that it couldn't. It would make the knot, but it couldn't pull the tail through. Didn't have enough of travel.
Oh,
If you were to physically pull that through, that tail would have been that long.
no kidding. Like a
And-
loop. It would
Yeah,
make a loop.
Yeah, and it would be. You'd look down there and be spanned across this hook,
Yeah.
spanned across there, still pinched in there, but the tail was back there. The tail had to be pulled out,
Okay. Yeah.
and in that one, he had some kern twine and some of that. And
I don't like mixing.
I went over
twine.
all the knotters, and the ones that had the kern twine in was fine, but where he had that, it was black. I cranked this down almost the whole way.
You
So-
couldn't convince him to try a different twine, or go to
Well,
a
I
better.
told him that's what it was. I don't
That's
know
what it
he
was.
ever
Yeah.
did, but
Yeah.
I said you're going to have to crank that down. Now, when you go put other twine in, if you do change your twine, you're going to probably have to loosen it back up.
Yeah. Right.
So try to stay with whatever you're
Well,
using.
Last year I had Cordex Agri twine left. That's this.
And also, if you have some different twine on the bottom than the top, some guys will have two different color twines or two different brands.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
that,
Well,
can,
that's.
that can cause issues also. Because you got two different materials in there.
Yeah, they're made two different colors.
What thing?
Hose that's up there, I'm going to be lowering that down. That's done when you need it.
What is he doing to me?
Oh, you gotta lower that exhaust thing or something.
Oh, exhaust fan. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll go over the knotters, but basically I think that's it.
Careful.
Don't scratch it now. Oh, no. All right. Well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless you have anything else.
I'm only going to run the chrome twine from now on because I don't have any more of this left, but I had a couple of pallets of it left. And what I would do is I would put those in the centers.
Okay.
Like the 4 center ones, the outsides were always strictly chrome. because I just wanted to get rid of this stuff, and you wouldn't believe the difference. It will blow strings. This was a 550. This was a 600.
Yeah.
Now I've got 650 in there now.
Right.
I like that.
That's
That-
what
I
I've
can
seen
dial
guys
that
use.
stuff in.
Yeah.
I need a 1,450 pound bale. So the 650 is what I'm gonna stick. This a 1,450 pound bale gets my load
The
right where it needs to be.
HDP, that's what I've seen.
That's the best one. And
If you want to make a tight bale, if you got an HDP, there's no reason not to.
Yeah. Well, have you seen any failures on it, like in these hinges or anything? Any problems like that from putting the pressure to it?
Early on, and this is way past the serial number, but back on the doors, they had some, I call it football, but you know when you weld a plate. Yeah. They gave us these flat plates that we welded on because they were cracking.
Okay.
I haven't seen any issues.
Okay.
doing that.
Yeah, because I mean,
That was a rework. And
that was the whole reason to get a bale, the HDP. I could have bought the regular one, the 1290, but I wanted the HDP because I want to tailor these loads so that I'm
doing mulch it.
30 bales. on-
Somebody that's doing custom work, it probably doesn't pay them because you throw them that bale.
Yeah, and they got to get away from that.
But I guess they can charge more, but the guys probably not going to talk them into it.
Well, the farmer's got to understand, and I don't understand why some of these people, you know, a 1,400 pound bale versus a 1,200 pound bale.
Less bales, I think it would make sense.
Less bales. I like hauling less bales.